Use the referral link in the description to g2a.com for all of your Xbox codes, PlayStation codes and video games, and be sure to use the code CHES at checkout to get yourself 3% cash back. Hey guys, welcome to episode number 7 of Season 4 here in the Youth Regen Road to Glory at Wimbledon. We're in the January transfer window now. Unfortunately, in the last episode we were knocked off top spot, but we're still looking pretty comfortable with regards to automatic promotion. 6 points clear of Preston and Norwich. Not in the best of form, but we're doing okay. The simulated games were good in the last episode. I wasn't necessarily playing the best of football personally. We do now, thanks to the sale of a couple of players, have a little bit of money to spend in this window. And I would like to spend it. However, the player that I'd like to bring in is, as we've mentioned for a while now, the young Petr Cech regen, Michael Kadlec at Sheffield Wednesday. Now, we do have 2 goalkeepers at the club already, one of which I'd be willing to let go, that being Morrison, the younger 70 rated player. So I shall offer him as part of the deal, and we'll see if they're interested in him. They might be. They're looking for a right back. Sean Cooper I'm definitely not letting go. I would be open to seeing Ewan Young go the other way though, if they might be interested in him, and indeed they are. So I shall counter, because I can't afford the fee that they're asking for. I'll counter with straight 10 million, and then hopefully we should still have enough money for his wages after that. And hopefully they'll accept. 12.3 is what they're asking for. And again, I don't have that available to me. I'll offer 10.5. It's going to be a little bit tedious, this, I think, trying to get this deal over the line. But they're adamant for 12.3. I just quite simply can't afford him. Okay, it's not a problem. There will be other players we can try and sign. The centre-back, Godinho Cotole, we can't yet try and sign because he's only recently joined the club that he's at. In theory, he joined in the summer and we should be able to buy him in January, but that's not how FIFA works, unfortunately. So for now, we will have to stick with what we've got. What I am going to do, however, is send my scouts out to search for just quite simply first team quality players, because we will be able to sign and will be allowed to sign with the quote-unquote rules of the series. There aren't really any rules other than I'm only allowed regen players. So I could, in theory, buy someone else that started at a different club, has grown really well, and is now available for transfer, so long as they're a regen player. And we are in Season 4 now. We've seen some of our own youngsters grow very well. So maybe there will be other players at other clubs that have grown very well too. I don't want anyone that's too old, so to speak. But any position is, I'm open to any position. I'm open to any real quality. We don't really have that many scouts at the club, nor do we have any that are really of any quality. But we shall try and set up scouting networks as best we can. Probably perhaps should have sent the Englishman to England, but never mind. We'll search in Southern Europe instead. You guys know how I like to play possession football, and if you're going to sign possession or players that suit that style of play, then places like France and Spain are where you want to look. We'll look in Spain, we'll look in Germany as well for perhaps a more physical player that might be more suited to the English leagues. But today we will play this first game against Hull. We'll sim the rest of the month. However, we will play Barnsley at the end as well. 2 games played today. Drop the video a like if you enjoy. Subscribe to the channel too to make sure you don't miss out on any further content, of course. And hopefully we can get some decent results today and stay in the top 2, and if not, at the very least, stay in the top 2, and if not, get ourselves up into that top spot again. I'm going to rotate slightly for this one. I have added actually the young Neumann onto the loan list to try and get him regular first team football. Whether we're able to do that in today's episode or not, we shall wait and see. But for now, we're going to crack on. Hinoho shall start for me up top as well. I'm tempted, in fact I will throw Jackson into the starting lineup too, and Rose can play alongside Sensi. Other than that though, actually yeah, no, I will throw Andreu on at left back. And do I throw Castaneda in? Yeah, go on then. Right, now we'll go and play the game against Hull City. Switch that out wide there to Cooper. Down the line is McCall. Spins well. Looks for Yavo, finds him. And what the defender's doing, swinging and missing it thin air there. And Hallan Hill gives us a 1-0 lead after just 3 minutes. That's exactly the start I needed. to settle my nerves after recording yesterday's episode. I did not play well at all yesterday, and it cost me in both played games. That, though, gives me the confidence to push forward and hopefully get a couple of victories in the played games today. Here's Bowen cutting inside. Finds Abel Hernandez. Jackson's there to steal it away from him legally. Nutmegs the man in front of him too. The defender there getting the ball away. I'm slightly fortunate that they didn't pick up possession again, but we'll take it. Corner's looking to get down the line. We'll drill this in looking for Hanoho, who finds Yavo, who will bend it from the edge of the box. David Marshall does well to pluck that out of the air. Whether it was going wide or not, I'm not sure. But the keeper making absolutely sure it didn't go into the back of the net by jumping up, picking the ball out of the air. Hernandez into Henriksen. Back to Abel Hernandez. Not far away at all. On his right foot, which isn't his strongest side, Abel Hernandez. But he hit that sweetly enough. Oh, only bent away at the last moment as well. Very, very nearly 1-1. Corner for Hull, 25 minutes in. Bowen will deliver. And Stewart with the header. Andreu heads away. Let that go, okay, or not. That would have been a goal kick. Never mind, we'll come away on the counter. We might be able to catch them. No, we'll score a second ourselves. But the second goal of the game is yet to arrive. Hull seem the more likely at present. They have dominated proceedings since we went in front. I haven't yet really created another opportunity, but the one chance they did have just there from the corner was cleared away by the defender on the line. Not sure whether it was actually on target or not, but just as David Marshall made sure earlier on with the effort from Yavo, Andreu made sure that time around that the ball stayed out the back of the net. See, Andreu can't use his hands the same way that David Marshall did, but it's going to be another corner for Hull City here. Again, we'll try and get the ball away. Again, it's worked well, but Bennett's on hand this time to make the save. Closed down well by Andreu. Been pretty solid at left back. I'm impressed with him to this point. Hanoho go out wide here to Walker, and then I'll look for the run there. Beautiful ball into the path of Yavo, who will turn inside, perhaps look for a teammate or go on a solo run. Looks for a teammate. It's the option. McCall has his shot charged down by a defender, and we aren't able to get a second goal to go yet further in front. Hanoho outmuscled by Zhao as well there, unfortunately. And we're not able to create a second opportunity. Here come Hull City on the counter-attack. We have to be wary of the run of Abel Hernandez. Also wary of the one of Bowen, who scores and draws Hull City level. Cooper switched off at right back, didn't track the run. You see Cooper tuck in, and then he's not really too sure where to go. He just kind of loiters a little bit. Doesn't make any sort of movement as Bowen runs past him. It's a simple finish. Hull are level. Cooper takes that away from Grosicki. Rather simply cut that back through there. McCall will go again, and he could be played in here. McCall. Oh! Deflected, and then a great reaction save from David Marshall. Looking to get ourselves back in front. It's a decent delivery, and Hanoho went up for it. Hill will try and close it down and get there ahead of the Hull City man, which he's done well, and keeps it in play. We'll take a throw in. Well, we know it's half time. 1-1 at the break. Hernandez. Again, the run of Bowen has Cooper all in a mess at right back, but it's centrally that the effort comes. He may have missed earlier on his right foot, Hernandez. He was not going to miss second time around. Unreal finish from the Uruguayan. He is left-footed, but that is an absolute rocket. Not much you can do about that. That is a great goal. 2-1 Hull. They've turned it around. Given away. Out wide here to McCall, and Yavo's made the run. He's left-footed, so I'm going to try and get back on that left, and he's done well, and arriving as a teammate, but I can't find him. I didn't have the angle for this shot, nor, evidently, did I have the angle for the pass. It's been a frustrating game. After we went 1-0 in front, it has been all Hull City. We've really struggled to create chances, and we might well be going 3-1 down here if it weren't for this save from Bennett. Nuadiko just by simply running straight through, making a couple of changes to try and freshen things up a bit with just over 20 minutes to go. Bowen delivers the corner, but get rid of it. George Cooper. Strike wide. Again, not far away at all from a Hull City man. We are able to come away with it. I'm waiting for Hano to make the run, but he's not going to get properly in behind there without running offside, so I'm going to have to turn back the other way. George Jackson is there in the middle. There is Yavo. Quick flick round the corner, doesn't quite work, but Hanoho wins that back. And here is George Cooper! Tries to drill it hard and low. He drilled it hard and high. Over the bar, 2 minutes to go. Good head up by Jackson. Barber brings it down, accelerates away. He's in the box here. Barber to equalise. What a save from David Marshall. Unbelievable stuff. Corner comes in. It's not the best. It's not the worst. What a flicked on header by Rose at the near post. We are level. Perfection. Absolute perfection. From Oliver Rose. Just glancing it on at the near post. Getting the angle spot on. Marshall will be disappointed because he made an unbelievable save to force the corner in the first place, but Rose just beats the man there with him at the near post. That is a just unbelievable header. That reminds me exactly of Branislav Ivanovic's header for Chelsea to win the Europa League in 2013. Superb header from Oliver Rose at the near post. Hull 2, Wimbledon 2. We are going to get a point from the KC Stadium. I don't even think it's called the KC now, actually, is it? Thinking about it, I can't remember what it's called these days. Whatever it's called, we're going to get a point from it. I'm going to try and go on the counter here. And we'll try and give ourselves the opportunity of maybe getting all three still. Roman Hanoho still racing through. Hanoho blocked by Larson. Oh, wow. Again, McCall will deliver towards the near post. It's not towards the near post. Barber goes up. It cannons off a defender. Max Clark will clear. And the final whistle will almost certainly go. And indeed it does. It's a 2-2 draw. Went 1-0 up very early on. Pulled it back to 2-2 even later. We edged it on possession. We edged it on chances created, although I do feel a point is probably a fair result. Now, Wolves beat Reading by 2-0, so we lose ground on them. Preston won. Norwich drew. So the gap at the top, or gap between second and third, will close. It's now 4 points, as you can see there, and also 4 points up to Hull as well, to Wolves as well, sorry, which is frustrating. Everybody gets an A in training. Well done, lads. That's very impressive. Right, I'm going to need to rotate the side a little bit, I think, for the game against Bristol City. So I shall go and do that, and then we'll cut back. No, actually, everyone should be okay. Considering I rotated a little bit for the previous game, we should be all right. We'll just crack on. At home, they've lost their 2 previous games, and the one before that was a win against me, rather frustratingly. But we go 1-0 up after 2 minutes through O'Dowda. Dimitrov pulls us back, and then Hallan Hill gives us a 2-1 lead after the half hour. Into the second 45 we go. We'd very much like to get a win as payback. Yavo makes it. Oh, come on, Lex. Yavo makes it 3-1. Brownhill sent off for Bristol City, and that should confirm it. It's a win for us against Bristol City by the same scoreline that we lost to them in the previous episode. So I'm pleased with that. Payback assured. Player suspended, but I'm not too bothered about that. Up next is Brighton in the FA Cup. Obviously, the Premier League the league takes priority. Getting promotion to the Premier League takes priority, so I'm not going to play this one. I will play the one at the end of the month. Sensi's going to have to be rotated out, though, because he's got himself sent off. So we shall throw Bruno in, and then there we go. We'll do it that way round. Right, cracking on. I'm expecting defeat here, but I'd very much like to avoid a replay if possible. I'd rather lose than have a replay, just purely because I want to concentrate on the league. Getting to the top flight in England is the most important thing for us this season. We spent 2 years in League One. This is our second year in the Championship as well. We had to rely on the playoffs to get out of League One, but we are pushing for automatic promotion from the Championship into the Premier League. But it's Pascal Gross that gives Brighton the 1-0 lead after 50 minutes. Then gets booked immediately as well. So whether he took his shirt off or ran into the crowd, I'm not sure, but booked immediately after scoring, and that is the only goal of the game. Neumann came off the bench and didn't really impact things. Still waiting for a loan offer to come in for him, actually. Try and give ourselves the chance. A loan offer for Sean Cooper? No. He's my first team right back. Obviously, I'm not going to let him go on loan. Suspension over for Sensi, which is good news. He can come back into the first team lineup for the next game. Sorry, Oliver. Sorry, Bruno. Sensi's in. Right, who was it next? I can't quite remember off the top of my head. It was I can't remember who got the end of the month either. Actually, my brain was telling me Bristol City, but obviously it's not. It's Barnsley. I knew it was B. Come on, leg. Barnsley. I'm still struggles after Wednesday. Norwich and Cardiff to come up. Norwich and Cardiff, well, not to come up. Hopefully not to come up. Norwich and Cardiff up next. I've just seen Twitter explode next to me because Chelsea have just gotten a penalty in the FA Cup final. I'm watching it on BBC iPlayer next to me on a delay, so I'm waiting for it to. To actually happen. Everyone's going, it should be a red card for Phil Jones, and he got absolutely spun and destroyed by Eden Hazard. But it still hasn't happened on the screen next to me. You're literally watching my live reaction to the FA Cup final here. Eden Hazard is in behind, and Jones. What sort of challenge is that, Philip? That's terrible. And what's the referee going to give him? Yellow. I'm pretty sure that should be a red. Hazard is literally about to put that in the back of the net. Or at least have a shot on target. George Cooper has a loan offer coming from that we'll be rejecting. Tournament prize money. Well, this is interesting. This has never happened in a recording before. I'm actually going to take Twitter away from me so that I can't see it. So I don't know what happens from the pen. Actually, I'll stop and we can have a quick train, can't we, before the game against Norwich. He's not far from the ball, Phil Jones, but I'm pretty sure that should be a red card. Sean Cooper has a bid of 18 million coming in for him now. Such an awful challenge. How he hasn't gotten sent off that, I'm not sure, Phil Jones. Right. We'll have a quick train. Still waiting for the penalty to be taken. Hazard stood over himself. Jesse Lingard and Ashley Young giving it a little bit of chat in his ear. You don't fluster Eden Hazard that easily, although David De Gea is the best goalkeeper in the world, so it's obviously not going to be the easiest of men to get it past. Come on, Eden, do the business. It's the FA Cup final, for crying out loud. I don't want the Hungarian international manager's job. If you don't mind, we shall reject. This is the longest wait for a penalty I've ever had in my entire life. Eden Hazard scores! Chelsea 1, Manchester United 0 in the FA Cup final. Let's go and get ourselves a win against Norwich away from home. Thank you, Eden. I'm not sure how that wasn't a red, but we shall move on. It's happened. We've got the lead. That's the most important thing. Norwich pick up an injury in the opening 14 minutes. He has to come off. And then they take the lead through Morris. It's a good pen, actually. And, oh, Yavo misses a penalty. That's a bad pen. Literally, as I mentioned a penalty, I was like, oh, it's a good pen. And then Yavo misses. That's not a good pen. Come on. Nah, 2-0 Norwich. 2-0 Norwich. Never mind. Defeat against Norwich City. They're one of the teams chasing us, I believe, at the top of the table. Indeed they are. They're now 3 points behind us as we look to solidify. An offer for Lorenzo, which again I shall be rejecting. Hanoho disappointed not to start. Sorry, mate. But Yavo and Barber are the two that are starting up top right now. Badimo is back from injury, by the way. I haven't played him yet since he came back, mainly because he's now the fourth highest. He's gone from being the highest rated striker I had to the fourth highest rated striker I had, or basically the lowest rated striker I have, because I've only got 4. I've got Barber, Hinojo, Yavo, and now Badimo 72. Bayern confirm Messi talks. Just saw that on the right hand side. Not sure about that. I'm not looking to sell anyone on at this stage. We have already made a couple of sales this season. In fact, a number of sales this season. Got some prize money. It's about 70 grand, I think, for the FA Cup. A loan offer for you and Young, which I shall reject. I was only willing to let him go as part of the other deal. £76,000. Great. That will fill the bank, won't it? We're hoping to gain tens of millions. Arkadiusz Milik joins Barcelona for £42.4 million. Now, can we go and get ourselves a win in this next game? Yavo now 76 rated alongside Barber. I'm going to put Will Bell back into the starting lineup. Still trying to get Neumann that loan offer, but nothing coming yet. Right, let's get a win, shall we, here against Cardiff. Try and stay as far ahead of Norwich as possible. They've lost their last 2 and only gotten a point against Charlton in the game before that. Cardiff City. Yavo gives us a 1-0 lead after 6 minutes. A good start. Although I got a good start against Hull and then Very nearly threw it away until the last minute when Oliver Rose jumped up with that header. Yavo scores again. It's 2-0, 5 minutes before half-time. That's exactly what I needed. Yavo scores the penalty this time and has himself a hat-trick. Zahor pulls one back for Cardiff City, but it is Yavo's day for us here. 3 goals for him, making up for the penalty spot. He scored 4! Osman Yavo scores 4 in a 4-1 win over Cardiff City. What a stellar performance from the young Swede. That was unbelievable. We've got Barnsley up next. The board are unhappy that we're not on track. Still 3 points the gap below and 4 points the gap above. And now we shall go and play Barnsley. Just before we get to Barnsley though, I've had a loan offer for Patrick Neumann from River Plate, which I shall accept. He can go out on loan and hopefully continue to grow. I can't guarantee him the first team football here that he wants. And also, I don't really get on with him that well, with him in his current state, so to speak. So hopefully he can drastically improve out on loan and we'll be able to have a much better player come back to us when that loan deal finishes and he can perhaps start for me on the right hand side. We'll have to wait and see. Right, now though, eventually, Barnsley away. Hill, Lugano, there's Barber, out wide there to Hughes, who spun brilliantly. Hughes blocks well by Green. 15 minutes played, cross to come in here from Castaneda, and Lorenzo's up. You cannot leave a man that's 6'5", free in the box from a corner like that, because he's just going to score. He had 5 yards of space there. It's as if he had some sort of repellent on and nobody was allowed to get anywhere near him. How much room do you want to give Lorenzo Ferreira? A simple header for him. A good 1-0 lead here. Let's actually hold on to it this time, shall we? Lugano through the gap there to Barber. To Yavo. Back to Barber. Look to bend it. It's going to drop here to Lugano. There's a second. 2 quick fire goals. We've extended our lead early on. Fortunately, it fell back to Lugano there. Barber tried to bend that, which is the right thing to do in that situation, but I get very lucky. And the finish, pretty decent. Keeper no chance, right in the bottom corner. 2-0. Wide to Castaneda. Forward there to Barber. I'm going to drill that. Oh, Yavo picks it up. It would have made it... Oh, jeeps! It would have made it in if it weren't for the defender, but the keeper punching that away when he could have caught it. I don't know whether it's just a subconscious reaction. Great strike from Castaneda. Davis with another good save. He's in good form. It's just their backline isn't in good form as a whole. At least they marked Lorenzo from the corner this time, although the ball was very nearly finding its way onto his forehead yet again. Barnsley not even close to good enough in this first half. They are yet to register a shot on goal. We've had 6. We've scored 2. Here's Green. Waiting for that through ball that didn't come. Maya gets it into Bradshaw. Pulls one back for Barnsley just before half-time. Nice move, good finish. The decoy run completely sold me there. Turns back, then lays it into Bradshaw. Makes the most of the space. Oh, if he'd stood square on Cooper rather than turning his side, he probably blocks that. Poor defending. Barnsley back in it. Win that. Simple header. Yavo gets it under control really nicely. Little back heel to find Barber. Look for the through ball. Perfectly weighted. Lugano outside of the post and wide. That very nearly the dream start to the second half. Not far away at all from 3-1. Forward there to Yavo. Made the run down the channel nicely. He's got space to break into here. And arriving is George Cooper. And in the box is George Cooper. But not scoring is George Cooper. Good save by the keeper's feet. Castaneda's cross is blocked. We win that header. Well up. Sean Cooper to George Cooper to Yavo. Around the corner here to Walker, who can't get past Pearson. And Barnsley will clear again. 20 minutes to go now. Still 2-1. Bradshaw in behind. Lorenzo drawn across. Whipped in. 2-2. They've fully turned it around here, Barnsley. If you look at the keeper when the ball gets played in, he doesn't even try and save it. He just stands there. It's a hell of a cross. And he just stops. And rather than take a step to his right and try and get there, he just stands and watches. Come on, mate. You've got to do better than that. He probably would have scored anyway, but at least try. 20 minutes to go. 2-2. Walker down the corner there to Cooper. Stand inside. Tried to pull it back. It didn't quite work, but he's got the loose ball again. Stand the cross into the middle. Barber's there. Won't quite drop for him. It will drop for Walker. Oh, here's Barber. It wasn't Barber that was on it before. It's deflected. It's a corner. Castaneda delivers. It's a good delivery. Lorenzo's up. Heads straight at Davies this time around. Pots forward to Maya. I'm worried about that man here. Mallon in behind. Dave Walker doing something defensively, but not quite enough. Here's Tom Bradshaw. Offside. Offside. He's offside. Oh, my heart sank. I just glanced up as I put my controller down to see the linesman with his hand in the air. Wow. I don't even know whether that was offside. I'll take it. Still 2-2. Barnsley nearly completely turned it around from 2-0 down to 3-2 up. We scored late against Hull to equalise. Are they going to score late against me to win it? Jai Woon with a delivery. Dimitrov heads behind. It will be a corner here for Barnsley. Will most certainly be the last action of the game. But will it be another goal in the game? Since he heads away. Barber tries to knock that down. Hanoho will go on the counter, but the referee will blow his final whistle before we get the chance to do anything with it. It's a 2-2 draw against Barnsley. From 2-0 up, they pull it back. Particularly disappointed not to have taken the win from that, to be completely honest. Wolves draw, Norwich win. So the gap at the top remains 4. The gap below us will close to 2. That's frustrating. Norwich are on a hell of a run of form, though. In fact, it's close to 1. And the gap above us is just 1 as well. I didn't realise that that had happened with the other simulated game. I didn't check the table thinking about it after the most recent simulated game. Right. This title fight is wide open then. You've Wolves on 58, Wimbledon on 57, Norwich on 56, then Preston 53, Brighton 52, Wednesday 51. Leeds with a game in hand are on 49 and could close to 52 as well. You could have a 7-way title fight right now. There's still 17 games to go for everybody but Leeds, who have 17 games to go. Sorry, 18 games to go. Come on, my brain is not on it. I'm disappointed not to have taken a win from that game against Barnsley. That would have seen us top again. Again, Barcelona's Messi links with Bayern, it said on the right-hand side. We'll see what happens at the end of the transfer window. Neumann has gone out on loan now to River Plate, which is good news. Barcelona want Ewan Young. No. Sorry, lads. Sorry, Ewan. I know you're not playing here, but you certainly wouldn't play in Barcelona. Press conference upcoming, but I don't really care about that. Milik actually went to Barca from Dortmund. It wasn't actually... okay, I had an email. It was press conference. It wasn't actually Napoli that he went to Barcelona from. 42.4 million. The other biggest deal is Kelechi from Leicester to Juventus for 29.8, and Joe Gomez from Inter to Spurs, so he returns to the Premier League. 3 loan deals are the other latest. Let's see what happens in the final 10 hours. Let's see if we get any other big deals go through. I don't think we will, but we'll keep an eye on what goes on. I presume that the total spent today is in the league that we're in rather than the window, because obviously you would have expected more than £4 million to be spent worldwide. So it doesn't look like there's going to be massive amounts of money spent in the Championship on transfer deadline day. Doesn't look like there's going to be... Oh, hang on, that was a big deal. Andreu has an offer come in, but we're going to reject that. He does want more first-team football. I might end up giving it to him sooner rather than later. Apparently it is all windows, because that Lo Celso deal has gone through, and that's counted towards the total. It's just a very slow start to transfer deadline day. 34.7, Lo Celso to Manchester United from Paris Saint-Germain. Any other deals to go through? None in that hour. Jonathan Tah, huge deal. 61.2 million to Real Madrid. 61.2. Eden Hazard just took an elbow to the face, although it wasn't really purposeful, from Chris Smalling. Antonio Conte is going mad on the touchline. Then PSG interested in Young as well. Perhaps that's a sign of what his potential is. Christian Eriksen to Manchester City for 71.7. Now all the big deals come through. Daniele Rugani, West Ham to Everton for £52.3 million as well. It's all kicking off in the final few hours. But not much else happening in the final couple. Yep, that will be transfer deadline day done and dusted. And today's RTG episode done and dusted as well. Youth squad report has come in. 85 to 91 now for Stefano Conti. 82 to 88 still for Kouassi. 88 to 94 for Bustos. 87 to 93 for Cardenas. And Vaguero's 86 to 92. Not looking to call any of them up just yet though. But for now, we'll have a quick train, and that is where we will leave it. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Drop the video a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel too to make sure you don't miss out on more Southampton video later on this afternoon, and I'll see you.